Imagine this, you are 3000 kilometers away from land. It's midnight. Suddenly, alarm starts screaming across the ship. Red light flashes. Engine stops, and all over the loudspeaker, one announcement change everything. This is an emergency. All crew proceed to muster station.
Merchant Navy is not about money, fame, and lifestyle. There is real life emergencies out at sea. One mistake can cost lives. And in this video, we are going to discuss about such emergencies and what, as a seafarer, the lessons which we need to learn from those emergencies. This is your host, Kranti Kumar. Welcome to the channel. Here are top 5 emergencies that can turn a normal day into a nightmare. There is no second chance out at sea. Life once lost is lost forever. Number 1. Man overboard. In recent times, the most feared and the most common emergency on board the vessels. Multiple incidents have occurred in which cadets and crew members are being missing out at sea. The reason for this is no proper corrective action being taken immediately when an incident occurs. Let's see what all the corrective steps which we can take in such emergency situations to take a brief and immediate action. Raise an alarm and inform the bridge. The officer on watch on board the bridge will immediately deploy the MOP marker, man overboard marker, which consists of a life buoy with a smoke and a light signal, which can be used both in the daytime as well as in the night time. This MOP marker will be marking the position of the person out at sea. Then the vessel would make a maneuver of Williamson turn, which is going to bring back the vessel to the MOP marker immediately as soon as possible. Upon arriving at the MOP marker, we will be launching a rescue boat for rescuing the person from the ocean and then bringing him back on board the vessel. Time lost is life lost in such emergency. Fire on board is a different story compared to land. On land, we have got space to run away from it, but on ship, you are surrounded by all sides, so you can't run away from it. And one more thing is, fire do not start big. It starts very small. Maybe a oil leakage on a hot surface, or an electric short circuit, or maybe because of a lit cigarette as well. Fire normally starts small and grows big. Corrective and preventive actions at the earliest and at the fastest is going to eliminate the risk of fire getting big. Whenever you see a fire in the smallest state, immediately raise an alarm, inform the bridge, inform the engine control room, and then fight the fire with the nearest portable extinguisher as soon as possible. Because fighting a small fire is easier than fighting a big one. In case you couldn't able to fight it, leave the fire, immediately muster at the muster station and form a 2 firefighting teams. One team is actively fighting the fire while the other is standby. We can go on fighting a fire in rotation basis. That's how we work as a team in fighting the fire on board a vessel. So, the most important lesson here is fight the fire when it is small. That way we save the ship as well as ourselves. Number 3 is flooding. Unlike fire, where you can find smoke and flame for detecting it, flooding is silent. By the time you realize, the stability of the ship is already affected. Let us see the major 4 ways in which a ship floods. First is pipeline rupture, where there is a damaged pipeline which can lead to leakage of seawater into the ship's engine room or into any of the cargo hold. Number 2 is hull breaching, where there is a rupture in hull because of collision or some other reason. Number 3 is isolation valves not working properly. Overboard valves normally are usually used for shutting when it is required, but in case of malfunction of any of these valves, we won't find proper isolation. Number 4 is sea chest damage. In case of a damage of sea chest, there could be flooding in engine room. Flooding on ships is not because of pump failures. It is because of delayed in isolation of the source of flooding. So, let us see what are the corrective steps which we can take to prevent flooding. Raise an alarm and immediately inform the bridge about the situation of flooding. If required, stop the main engines and find the source of breach where water is ingressing. Immediately try to isolate the source using the watertight doors or the overboard valves and pump out the water which has increased into the ship using the emergency bilge pumps and emergency fire NGS pumps if required. Remember, pumps normally control the rate of flooding and valves usually do the isolation of flooding. Number 4. Enclosed space accidents. Enclosed space are those which are not properly ventilated and which are not having any access for a long period of time on board the vessels. This is a silent killer. The minute you enter, you become a casualty. It is because of lack of oxygen, toxic gases, and flammable vapor. People do not do proper checks and there is no proper ventilation before they enter. This is the prior reason for the accidents to happen. And let us see what all the corrective measures which we need to take to avoid such an accident on board the vessel. Before entering an enclosed space, do follow company's checklist. It has got a lot of important points which we miss out on a regular basis. Prior entering, do check the oxygen level and the toxic gas level inside the enclosed space so that you are confident that it is safe for entry. Apart from that, in case of any emergency, we need to plan a rescue operation. Don't rush into the rescue because most of the casualties occur during the rescue operation. Do wear a CBA set and do proper checks of the enclosed space and carry an emergency escape breathing device for the casualty who has to be rescued from the enclosed space. In this way, we can ensure that a proper rescue as well as a proper entry of the enclosed space can be carried on board the vessels. Emergency number 5. Blackout and loss of propulsion. Blackout and loss of propulsion itself is not an emergency. It is lack of decision making that can cause an emergency. Imagine your ship transiting Istanbul Strait and all of a sudden there is a blackout on your vessel. Immediate decision making can prevent any sort of accident because you are not having propulsion, you are not having power, you are not having navigational aid. Emergency generators can kick in, but it is up to you to maintain those emergency equipments properly. So let's see what all the corrective actions which we can take to avoid such sort of an emergencies. Blackout or a loss in propulsion, our immediate action has to restore the power and bring back the propulsion, or else our ship is bound to the force of wind and the ocean. That is the main reason for many sort of collisions and accidents out at sea. So to do that, we need to maintain our emergency generators in a tip-top condition, as well as the crew should be very much familiar about the layout of the machineries and also how to recover from a blackout situation. That way, by doing drills and training for emergencies such like blackout condition or loss of propulsion, we can maintain a safe and a sound vessel. So, from this, we can conclude that emergencies at sea does not depend upon rank, experience or confidence. It mainly tests our practice, drills, training, and consistency in knowing our machineries and our surroundings. So, if you find this sort of information helpful for you, please do check out our channel and subscribe to it for future more content like this.